Before we begin, let's take care of a few things that need to be identified and how that can help make your EAS experience more enjoyable and safe for everyone. First off, this video may or may not contain valid specific area message encoding tones, aka same tones, which can activate equipment responsible for triggering the emergency alert system. Do not play these tones out to the public, as it will cause mass panic and confusion to the public. You may be found guilty by the Federal Communications Commission and may be subject to civil and criminal penalties. The creator or creators of this scenario, including myself, are not responsible for any panic caused by the misuse of the tones. Second, this is a work of fiction. The characters and events depicted in this scenario are deemed fictitious. Any similarities with actual persons living or dead, or past events of any shape, form, or reason, is purely coincidental and entirely unintentional. Third, this video may or may not contain scenes, topics, or showcasing of sensitive content that may be inappropriate for some users. Viewer discretion is highly advised. Last but certainly not least, do not, I repeat, do not use any part or parts of this video, not even the thumbnail, without valid permission from the creator or creators of this scenario. Failure to ask permission will result in a takedown of your video for a copyright infraction of the second degree. Also, never steal this video and or claim this video as your own. The creator or creators of this scenario will not hesitate to report and take down your video for a copyright infraction of the first degree. With all of that out of the way, dim the lights, have a seat, pick a few snacks, and enjoy the show.
Civil emergency message for the city of Providence. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Providence Police Department. Numerous reports of suicide rates increasing drastically have been reported in the city of Providence over the past 12 hours. Reports of civilians taking their own lives without warning have been reported over 1 hour to be in the thousands. Methods of suicide civilians are taking include stabbing themselves in the heart with a sharp object, slicing their throats with a knife, shooting their brain out with a gun, hanging, burning themselves alive, and jumping off of tall structures without warning. The 911 telephone lines are working tirelessly to keep up with the increasing death rate. At this time, all residents of the city of Providence are being asked to take these instructions. Do not attempt to take your own life by any means. If you have family or friends, consult with them about mental therapy. If needed, call 988 to consult with a mental therapist. If you see someone attempting to end their own life, attempt to save them, even if physical harm is possible. Tune into TV and radio stations for more information on this developing situation. Civil authorities have issued a civil danger warning for the state of Rhode Island. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Rhode Island Bureau of Emergency Management. In the past 12 hours, reports of suicides have been reported across the entire state of Rhode Island. These unexpected deaths are not unlike what was occurring in the city of Providence. Methods of suicide include the following: stabbing in the heart, slicing through the throat, shooting the brain out with a gun, hanging, walking into open flame, and jumping from tall structures. The 911 telephone lines are being strained due to increasing emergency calls. At this time, it is advised that you take this set of actions. Do not take your own life by any means. Consult with family or friends should you feel suicidal. Request medical therapy by calling 988 or by visiting the nearest therapist office. A state of emergency may need to be declared if the conditions worsen. Stay tuned to TV and radio stations for further information on this developing situation. One telephone outage emergency for the state of Rhode Island. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Rhode Island Bureau of Emergency Management. Due to the increasing suicide rates in the state of Rhode Island, the 911 telephone lines have been completely booked of emergency calls. The 911 emergency services are not available at this time due to the current situation. If you wish to contact emergency services, call the Rhode Island Police Department at area code 401-444-1000. Please continue to follow the instructions posted previously. Do not call for emergency services unless you have an actual emergency. If you are feeling suicidal, call 988 to seek help from a therapist. Please stay tuned for more information on this situation.
This is WJR News, and we are live right now at 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. My name is Nathan Conwell, coming to you all with a bit of breaking news. Over the past hour, there have been reports of people taking their own lives all of the sudden. Methods of such include the following: stabbing themselves in the heart, slicing through their throat, blowing their head out with a gun, hanging themselves, burning themselves alive by walking into open flame without leaving, and jumping off of tall structures. The really scary part is that it's happening out of nowhere. I mean, Rhode Island has the lowest suicide rates of the entire country. A few minutes ago, we had an interview with the parents, and they said that this is horrifying to have this occur. I have no clue why this is happening, but apparently more and more people are falling into depressive moods before making the dark decision to end their lives. We'll have to wait and see if this gets better or worse, but we'll continue to monitor any sources as time goes on.
Civil danger warning for the city of Newport. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Newport Police Department. At 11:10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, several riots sparked in the city of Newport and surrounding suburbs. The reason for these riots is likely due to the 911 telephone lines being inaccessible due to the current situation. These rioters are causing devastation and harm to life and property. All residents in the city of Newport are encouraged to remain indoors with doors and windows locked. Barricade any entrances with boards of furniture. Turn off all heating and air conditioning any fireplace dampers. Do not approach the rioters as you will put your life in extreme danger. Do not participate in the riots as you will be arrested without hesitation. Please remain tuned into local TV and radio stations for further information on this dangerous situation.
I hope you're having a good evening here in Providence. This is Carissa Denise coming to you from WVVX LP at 101.1 FM. Of the two things rocking the state of Rhode Island this evening, the elephant in the room is the sharp and sudden increase in suicide rates across the entire state. This phenomenon was first reported in the city of Providence, and it has been reported that many people are randomly removing themselves from the gene pool in several ways. As of right now, the Federal Emergency Management Agency is looking into the reason why these horrific incidents are occurring and how they are affecting innocent civilians. We are also receiving reports of riots breaking out in the city of Newport. Several rioters have reportedly harmed innocent civilians, and mass destruction of property has also been reported. It has become such a problem that the Rhode Island state government has declared a state of emergency. In addition to this, martial law has been declared, and a curfew has been issued, in effect from 6 p.m. to 8 a.m. Nobody is to be outside during the curfew, as you will be arrested if you are outside during that aforementioned time period. We at WVVX LP wish you the best of luck during this crisis. In the meantime, we would like to put on some music that will help you relax on 101.1 WVVX FM.
Civil danger warning for Connecticut. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Connecticut State Police Department and the Connecticut Bureau of Emergency Management. Reports of suicide rates increasing in the state of Connecticut along with multiple other states in the New England region have been reported to the Connecticut State Police Department recently. People have been reported to have been suddenly taking their lives by the following methods: slicing through their throat, stabbing in the heart, hanging, burning alive, starving themselves, suffocation, jumping off tall structures, and multiple other methods depending on the victim's surroundings. It is known that this affects people in vehicles and who are outdoors. Anyone who is listening to this alert should be aware of the current situation. If you are experiencing depressive thoughts, such as suicidal thoughts, you should consider seeking mental therapy for guidance and potential treatment. Should you have access to hotlines, you should call 988 for assistance. It is being determined whether or not this is caused by natural depression or not. Remain tuned into local TV and radio stations for more information on this developing situation.
It's always something that we never ever change. It's just like that. I get the shivers whenever I'm thinking about you. Just wanna leave and live without you. Be on my own again. I get the shivers whenever
Civil danger warning for the following states: Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Vermont. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Federal Emergency Management Agency. At 12:25 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, reports of suicide rates increasing in all states in the New England region have been reported to the Connecticut State Police Department. Recently, people have been reported to have been suddenly taking their lives by the following methods: slicing through the throat, stabbing in the heart, hanging, burning alive, starving themselves, suffocation, jumping off tall structures, and multiple other methods depending on the victim's surroundings. It is known that this affects people in vehicles and who are outdoors. In addition, riots have broken out in several major cities in the New England region, which include Portland, Maine, Boston, Massachusetts, and Burlington, Vermont. As such, a state of emergency has been declared across the New England region. In addition, martial law and curfew have been declared. No one is to leave their homes after 6 p.m. Anyone who is outside past 6 p.m. will be arrested or potentially shot on sight. Anyone who is listening to this alert should be aware of the current situation. If you are experiencing depressive thoughts, such as suicidal thoughts, you should consider seeking mental therapy for guidance and potential treatment. Should you have access to hotlines, you should call 988 for assistance. It is being determined whether or not this is caused by natural depression or not. Remain tuned into local TV and radio stations for more information on this developing situation. Civil emergency message. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Federal Emergency Management Agency in the United States Department of Health and Human Services. Reports of suicides have been reported in the entire New England region. People across the entire states of Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Bangalore have been ending their lives out of no reason in many ways. Inclement weather patterns in the form of heavy clouds and rainfalls have also been reported in the region as well. In addition, reports of riots occurring in these areas have been reported in areas where these death rates are increasing. A state of emergency has been declared for the New England region as a result of this horrifying discovery. A martial law and curfew is set from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. No one is allowed to leave their house during the curfew. Failure to comply with the curfew will result in you being arrested. If you believe you are feeling suicidal, call the mental emergency hotline at 988 or contact a therapist. Stay tuned for more information on this situation. We interrupt our programming. This is a national emergency requested by the White House. All EAS participants will follow activation procedures in the EAS operating handbook for a national level emergency. The President of the United States or one of his designated representatives will shortly be delivering a message over the emergency alert system. Please stand by. Please stand by. Please stand by. We we interrupt our programming, this is a national emergency. Important instructions will follow. Stand by. The President of the United States, or one of his representatives, will shortly deliver an important message over the emergency alert system. Please stand by.
Hello, my fellow Americans. As you all may have known, a tragic calamity is happening across our beautiful nation. People across our great nation have been seen leaving our great nation and the world behind by committing suicide across all 50 states of our nation, as well as our overseas territories and the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. People have been seen shooting themselves, stabbing themselves in the heart, slicing through their throats, hanging themselves, jumping off of tall buildings, and many, many more gruesome and horrifying methods that we really don't want to tell you about, as I'm sure that there are kids who maybe also be unlucky enough to be listening to this broadcast as we speak. But I can tell you that this event has killed thousands of times more people than the September 11th attacks back in 2001. In addition, the gloomy weather patterns have also been reported across the entire country, resulting in floods and sustained windstorms occurring across the country. I am advising all Americans to stay indoors. Do not attempt to take your own life, and call 988 if you feel suicidal, and ensure you have mental and emotional support at all times, as we will together get out of this crisis. As President of the United States, I really want to help you all get through these trying times. Therefore, I am enacting a potential relief plan called Pity Party, which will potentially aid in the diagnostics and treatment towards depression and prevent further suicides like these from occurring. As now, I wish you and the country the best of luck. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
That was a message from the President of the United States. We will now cease transmission over the emergency alert system. Please remain tuned into local TV and radio stations for more information on this dangerous situation.
Civil authorities have issued an administrative message for the United States. This alert is effective as of 11:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time and will be effective until 1 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government in conjunction with the United States Department of Health and Human Services. The suicide rates that have been reported across the entire United States, as well as the neighboring countries of Canada and Mexico, have been steadily decreasing over the past 12 hours, with rates now ranging from 1 to 5% per state. This is due to the collective efforts of the United States Department of Health and Human Services, as well as the Pity Party relief plan authorized by the United States government, which has contributed approximately $50 million into depression research and cure development. National martial law and curfew is slowly being lifted from many states, resulting in an imminent all-clear message. Remember, if you feel suicidal or have depressive thoughts that could lead to suicide, call 988 for mental therapy and assistance. The United States government would like to thank you for your cooperation during this emergency.